Everybody on the internet says you need to quit social media because it wastes your time or because it ruins your dopamine. And while that is true, we've all heard it before. So it's just getting repetitive. However, there is another, arguably worse side effect of using social media that is not nearly as talked about. And that's probably because it's a bit more complex than just saying you're procrastinating. So after observing society and the internet and personally being affected by social media myself, I'm gonna give you the most important reason why I think social media can be bad for humans. Put into simple terms. The concept I want to talk about is called false realities. Social media creates a false perception in your head of what reality is like. And if you want to deny that, then you might just be affected by it. Now this might sound a bit complicated, so here's a real life example of false realities. You know when you see like those street interviews on like Instagram and TikTok and YouTube shorts? A lot of those videos are about some dude asking people about like their life and like their relationships. And oftentimes the ones that go viral, the ones that get attention, and the ones that end up in your algorithm are negative ones. They're very negative ones where it's like a video of like a guy saying that he loves cheating, or it's like a girl saying that like her husband has to make $500 million a year. And usually when people say extreme things or things that are controversial that people are gonna hate on them for, those are the videos that go viral. And therefore, those are the videos that you see. And if you watch them all the way through, then they're gonna keep coming into your algorithm and you're gonna keep getting them fed to you. And now what this means is that if you don't know about false realities and you spend a lot of your time on your phone scrolling, then you might start to think that these videos are a representation of reality. You might start to think that most girls want guys who are 6'5", or that most guys love cheating. When in reality, these videos aren't always a great representation of reality. It's driven by bias because those ones that are negative are going to go viral. These people on social media, the people that you see, the stuff that you see, isn't a good representation of reality. It's manufactured reality. I mean, that's what social media is. It can go hand in hand with the term manufactured reality. And you may want to deny it, but trust me, even if you're not having these thoughts consciously, they may be going on in the back of your head. You might have these thoughts unconsciously. You might have these preconceived notions of people unconsciously without really noticing it. For example, I saw this comment one time. I had to screenshot it. It was some dude saying like, this is what happens when 99% of girls think that 5'11" is too short to date you. Like, look, I thought it was satire, but honestly, I don't really know. Honestly, like, if you actually think that, then you need to go outside. You need to get off your phone, bro. Like, when you actually go outside, that's when you realize you're having these preconceived notions. I want to bring up a fellow Indian YouTuber, Tejas Hewler. Hopefully I pronounced it right. I'm Indian, I should know. Who made a series of videos diving into what it means to be attractive as a human. And he ended up talking to this plastic surgeon guy who opened his eyes on the world of plastic surgery. To me personally, I think it's pretty sad that people get plastic surgery so they can look specifically like someone else. They give the surgeons pictures of someone that they want to look like. They're comparing themselves to something that's manufactured. Some of the things that the plastic surgeon said people wanted to get for surgery in this documentary series was so absurd. I don't even want to say it myself, so here's the clip.
We saw the website, and we saw that you have a procedure.
I know where this is going.
Yeah, we're curious, so we have to ask. What's the length for that you would recommend a penile extension?
People's brains are being hijacked by social media. They think that they need to be something that people don't even want them to be, and it's all because they spend so much time on their phone. And if you think you spend too much time on your phone, allow me to go outside and explain to you what I think you should do. Alright, as you guys can see, it's a beautiful day outside right now. I'm freezing cold. But when it comes to false realities, so I'm back in my cave. So when it comes to fighting against false realities, there's 3 super simple ways to do it that I think would be most effective for people who spend too much time on their phone. But before I get into those 3 things, I do want to mention that false realities doesn't just have to do with the examples I mentioned, like attractiveness and people in relationships. No, false realities can do with everything. If there's a niche for it on social media, you can have false realities about it. This can literally do with school grades, fitness, that's a big one, health and wellness, food, that's another big one, Fortnite, chess. The list goes on. Alright, so the number 1 way to destroy false realities is just to acknowledge that it's real. I personally have been affected by false realities. And guess what? The number 1 way that I fought against it was just to realize that I'm being affected by it and just realize that it's real. Simple. Number 2 is an obvious one. Limit your social media usage. One way you can do this is that whenever you want to use Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, open the app, right? And then use it for whatever you want to use it, and then delete it. And then when you want to use it again, maybe check your DMs or see what's up with Tom Holland, then download it again, use it real quick, and then delete it. This can stop you from spontaneously opening the app and scrolling. So yeah. Another way to do this is to use color filters on your phone and turn on grayscale. What it does is it just makes everything black and white on your phone, and then it just looks super boring. And therefore, since it's boring to look at, then in theory, you're less likely to use it more. It might not work for everyone, but it has worked for me. But just work towards limiting your screen time. That's it. I would bet you could never guess what number 3 is. It's the most complicated, least obvious one of them all. I promise you cannot guess it. You ready? Go outside. Not gonna lie, this might be the one that I lack the most. But to minimize the damage of false realities, you need to spend more time seeing reality. Ultimately, you need to spend more time seeing real people in the real world than you do seeing people on your screen. Therefore, you're seeing reality more so than false realities. So yeah, just go outside. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna have to take my own advice here.